Hello and welcome to My Mom's Basement, presented by Barstool Sports, and a very special WrestleMania 40 recap edition of My Mom's Basement. It is Robbie Fox, along with my From the Top Rope co-host, Jared Carrabis, to recap an all-time WrestleMania. One for the ages, the grandest stage of them all, ushered us into the Triple H era, ushered us into the Cody Rhodes era. How we doing, Jared?
I hate my life. All the joy has been taken out of me for everything that I used to love. I used to love professional wrestling. I don't anymore. I used to love the Red Sox. I don't anymore. I used to love baseball. I don't anymore. I used to love my life. I don't anymore. I used to love you. I don't anymore.
What?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I just spilled my drink behind me because I couldn't believe what you just said. I literally just spilled green tea all over the place. I couldn't believe it. You used to love me.
Yeah.
Listen, don't hate the player.
I saw you jumping up and down, dancing on my grave at
God.
WrestleMania.
Jumping up and down. I mean, I'll be honest, I did send you a mean text.
Honestly,
After WrestleMania.
I don't remember it. Like I like my whole week has been a blur, Bob.
I just sent Jared this emoji.
Yeah, you did. You did. And
oh, that was I was riding a high. I won't lie.
Yeah, I let me just start here because this is a take that I've had for a long time that I've just been waiting. Like I've always, like, every time that we do a podcast, I'm like, why didn't I say that thing that I meant to say? And here's what it is. So I get these people that every time we do a podcast together that will be like, really, you're a Roman guy? Like, how are you not rooting for Cody in his story? How are you not rooting for Cody? So let me just tell you a little something about Jared Carrabis. All right. First pay-per-view I ever saw was Bad Blood in Your House 97. And Kane makes his debut in the first ever Hell in a Cell match. And I'm just like, that's my guy. And through thick and thin, through no mask, no hair, through singlet, no shirt, 2 sleeves, 1 sleeve, I'm a Kane fan forever. And then CM Punk becomes my guy. I'm like, I love CM Punk. Heel CM Punk, babyface CM Punk, tag team CM Punk, bald head, long hair, whatever. CM Punk. He's my guy. UFC CM Punk, AEW CM Punk, WWE Return CM Punk. Roman, when he debuted with the Shield, I was like, I fucking love this guy. And I feel like I don't understand this at all, but there are wrestling fans that don't look at their favorite wrestlers like a sports fandom of like a team. Like, I'm a Red Sox fan. You root for the Red Sox when they suck. You root for the Red Sox when they're winning World Series. They're in last place, but you're still a Red Sox fan. You're not just like, oh, they're in last. All right, well, now I like the Dodgers. So when Roman comes up with the Shield, it's like, I like the Shield Roman. I like Suffer and Succotash Roman. Like those were
didn't like that Roman.
But those were my last place seasons. It was like, we're getting drenched in dog food. We're saying Suffer and Succotash. We don't have veneers yet. We're the big dog. Like, all this corny
stuff. Weird contacts.
Yeah, blue contacts for some reason. It's like, I had to suffer through those last place seasons to watch my team win back-to-back World Series titles. And so, like, whether he's a good guy, a bad guy, a shitty gimmick, a great gimmick, Paul Heyman, no Paul Heyman, I'm a Roman Reigns fan. So when people were like, man, really, dude, you're rooting for Roman over Cody? Yeah, that's my guy. Like, I am a Roman Reigns guy.
You know what, Jared? My counterpoint to this, you saying people aren't treating their favorite wrestlers like sports teams, I would say quite the opposite. I would say those are the Cody crybabies, bobos, whatever you want to call them, that are so ride or die for Cody in the exact same way you're ride or die for Roman, that they can't fathom you not rooting for the guy who bet on himself, left the WWE in 2016 when they didn't believe in him as a main eventer, started their biggest competition.
You know what, Bob? Not to
and then left their biggest competition and bet on himself again.
You know who the Cody crybabies really are?
Who?
And you're not one of them, because
we'll see.
You actually followed, literally, you went to Lowell, Massachusetts and followed Cody Rhodes when he was on the independent circuit. Didn't he win the NWA title that night?
He won the ROH World Title that night.
Ring of Honor
NWA
title that
came
night.
at
And
All
then
In.
you
Yeah,
literally went with him to the emergency room where he got stitches. Like you
I did,
followed
yeah.
him while he was on the Independents. The Cody Crybabies are the younger John Cena fans that grew
Oh, now
up.
you hate the kids, Jared.
No.
You hate the kids.
Hear me out. The Cody Crybabies are the 10-year-old John Cena fans that grew up to be teenagers in like early 20s, but now Cena's gone. So it's like, oh, who's the corny baby face that we can attach ourselves to
Oh,
now?
he's not.
Oh, it's
Oh,
Cody Rhodes. We love Cody now. Like the Cody Crybabies did not follow Cody when he was Stardust and then left and went to the Independents and was in AEW and Ring of Honor. They were
I
not.
think a lot did.
No,
I think a lot of them
I
did. I think a
guarantee
lot of
you they
people
didn't. They
listen.
didn't.
A lot of people definitely first saw Cody when he came back and faced Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 38. My nephew's one of them. Like he's a WWE kid. You know, my nephew's 9 years old. So
But,
when he sees
being
Cody,
a wrestling fan
instantly.
related to Bob Fox, like it's by proxy, you're going to be a
Yeah.
sicko. Like you're staying up until 4 a.m. to watch New Japan Pro Wrestling. Like I guarantee you, Bob, that 85% of the fans that go to these WWE events and they chant for Cody Rhodes didn't watch a single second of his independent circuit live. None of it. Maybe they watched some of the AEW stuff. They didn't. They simply did not. These are displaced John Cena children fans. That's
I don't
who's
know,
rooting
dude.
for Cody Rhodes.
But Cody went everywhere. Cody went to the big indies. He went to the small
There's like
indies. He
5
went to the
people
mom
there.
and pop indies. Exactly. He got those people. So those people, no doubt, followed him up to this journey. They're like, Cody Rhodes
now
came to our
millions.
fucking small town. And now
Millions are in his corner.
fair,
Those people did not follow him when he was on the indies.
And
Like
to your
collectively,
point,
like how long when he left his Stardust, what year was that?
2016.
Okay, and then he came back in 22.
Yeah.
Okay, so he was gone for call it 5 years. In
Roughly.
5 years, he probably wrestled in front of. I'll give him.
It's a high number. AEW had a lot of sold out shows at the beginning.
Sure. Like I was gonna say 1 million. In 5 years.
I don't even know how to gauge that. I don't know if that's a high number or not.
Yeah, I don't know either. But put it this way: there are millions of Cody Crybabies.
Yeah,
like these people were they weren't with Cody shooting in the gym.
We prefer the Rhodes Warriors, but yeah, we can talk about that at a later date.
Crybabies, but listen, Bob, I'm happy for you because I know that you are a true Cody Rhodes fan. You know him personally. You followed him when he left his Stardust.
Before he left, actually, that was the first time me and Cody ever talked. He had a burner Twitter account because he ran Stardust in kayfabe, and it was kind of like it wasn't like he wasn't keeping the burner secret at all. People knew it was Cody Rhodes. He was fine with that, but he never put on it like this is Cody Rhodes. Anyway, he put on there when he was Stardust, like, hey, I need a new gear designer. And I responded to the tweet, was like, I could do this. And then reached out to Pat Buck and Kevin Owens and was like, can you put in a good word? Like, this would be cool. They put in a good word. The rest is history. I designed, like, he was trying to get out of being Stardust at that time. So I designed Cody Rhodes gear. He presented that to whoever. He said he was putting like a pitch book together. And when they turned down the idea and said, we just want you to be Stardust, that like a month later, he left. So that was when it all started. I got a bunch of tweets like, how do you like know Cody Rhodes? That was the inception of the relationship. And then he took me to a ton of independent shows, gave me a ton of like knowledge, took me under his wing for a while. So it was, the most surreal WrestleMania. I mean, the last couple years, 2 years ago, I watched Kevin Owens face Stone Cold in the main event of WrestleMania. It's like, this is the craziest, most surreal thing. And then 2 years later, I got Cody Rhodes with the infantry from heaven. I mean, it's The Undertaker, it's John Cena, it's Jey Uso, it's everyone coming out to help him. It's Seth Rollins in the fucking Shield gear. That had to pull at your heartstrings. I mean, it was insane, surreal.
Didn't I say that to you the next morning though? I said, I took a night to sleep on it, and you're like, and I was like, I still hate it, but what I arrived at was that moment where Seth comes out to the Shield music in the Shield gear, and Roman is holding the chair, and he looks at Cody, and he can finish him off and retain the title. And he looks at Seth, who has nothing to do with this match and is already beat up. and he just fucking sticks him right in the back because he never forgot. And this is, maybe you'll call me a Roman Bobo for this take, Bob, but Roman was he was the one that was always betrayed. Seth turned his back on Roman.
And originally,
and Jay and Jimmy and like everyone thought The Rock was going to be the next one to do it. Sami, like,
well, Roman, Sami didn't betray Roman.
Yes, he did. He fucking stuck him in the back with a chair.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're dead ass right about that. Yeah.
So like, in my wrestling mind, in my fandom,
but Roman pushed him to that point. Let's be fair. Roman did push him.
He didn't have to stick him in the back.
Wasn't very nice to Sami, dude.
No, he wasn't. But it's called tough love, and he did what he had to do to make everyone around him great. And you obviously watched the documentary, and it's like, yeah, okay, Jimmy and Jay, like, people love the Usos, but like the Usos are on another level right now. They main evented WrestleMania last year. They didn't main event, but they had a match together that everyone cared about, which we'll talk about. It was a huge flop, but like that, he elevates everyone around him. What does he get for it? Chair shots in the back, Bob.
Now, is there any part of you that can take the Roman Bobo out of it and appreciate the main event that we had? Because like I mentioned, I put out the reaction video of me, Nate, and Brandon Walker in the suite. Shout out 2K Games for bringing us out, giving us tickets and all that. It was like a wrestling fan dream. The amount of moments, entrance themes, insane false finishes. It was similar to WrestleMania 30 in that you feel like you know who's going to win going in, but there is part of you that's like, but maybe there's a swerve. And there's also part of you that completely buys into that match and believes the false finishes. There were a couple that got me even. And I'm like, I'm 99.9% positive Cody's walking out of this building champ, but they were still getting me. And I know a lot of people thought Stone Cold was coming out, especially after Triple H tweeted like at 3:16 on the day of WrestleMania. That is insane that he did that. The fact that it was The Undertaker and not Stone Cold was so much more unexpected, I think. I mean, the crowd is already starting to go, Austin. The dong hit and the pop that The Undertaker got in an open air arena, dude, next level. And I said, I wish The Undertaker's final 5-6 years of his career were in moments like this instead of afternoon Saudi Arabia matches where it's just like he's the fucking dead equalizer. He's going to show up at any moment and face any heel and just make sure things are the way they should be.
By the book.
That is just the most badass character I could believe. I mean, he could do that for a couple more years. He could deliver one choke slam a night, I'm sure. My brother texted me. I sent it to you. He was like, Michelle McCool here and later tonight. Like, I think I got one more run in me. I felt good out there.
You heard him out there, babe.
Do you hear that pop? I think I got one more run.
Right. They need their Undertaker.
I saw him earlier in the night too, because we were in the suite. Yeah, George Kittle was in the suite next to us. So we went to go say hi to him. And the Undertaker walked right past me and Cody, our social guy. Cody was like, is that? And I was like, oh yeah, that's the fucking Undertaker. I said, he won't appear tonight though. Look at him. He's in a beanie and a hoodie. Little did I know, Undertaker wears a beanie and a hoodie now.
Did it take away from it for you that he wasn't in his gear and he was in the beanie and hoodie when he came out to stare down the Rock?
It didn't take away from it in the moment. In the moment, I'm too insane about it. And I'm like, I can't believe it. But again, something my brother texted me. He's like, the dude can put on the gimmick to give away a soccer trophy in Saudi Arabia, but he can't put it on for WrestleMania.
Right. Yeah.
Like at least like, kind of like that leather vest he wore for his match against AJ. He could do an American Badass type thing. Even if
give me a
fucking Big Evil shirt. Yeah. Kind of weird that he didn't do that. And the video of him running away. Did you see that one after?
Yeah.
So he's like, people are tweeting like when I got to take a shit in Home Depot.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they really thought that Austin was going to happen until it didn't. Like it I don't want to say it.
You're saying like to the last minute though?
I mean, I don't know. Like he obviously didn't have his gear with him. Maybe he was planning on being at WrestleMania regardless. And then I don't know.
Triple H calls up to the suite, and Michelle McCool's like, "Oh no,
Mark." Well, because we never got an explanation, right? There's no reporter? Like, cause
there's not, and that I'm super curious about because we know they had to reach out to Austin. It feels like that was Austin's spot and the Undertaker got it. And the Undertaker, to their credit, I think is the only other guy whose music could have hit that wouldn't have been like a disappointment that Austin wasn't there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And oh, by the way, was there part of you when the Shield music hit that was like,
I said Ambrose's name. Yeah. I was like, Ambrose?
We were there's no way in the ranch. We're like, what's happening right now? Like the main event got us so wrapped up in this roller coaster of emotions. We thought that Tony Khan would have just been like, you know what? Go let him finish the story, man. Like,
yeah.
In the moment where they're about to fucking air the CM Punk footage tomorrow night as we record this, like, that's crazy, by the way. That might require an emergency pod. We'll see what that comes out with. But I kind of agree with the people, not to go on a tangent about that are saying it's a weird move by AEW because either it makes Punk look bad and people want to see Jungle Boy kick his ass, which you can never deliver as a match, or it makes Punk look good and then it makes AEW look bad.
Right.
It's a kind of a lose-lose for them airing it, I think.
I think the logic that I saw, I can't remember who said it, but it was kind of just like, they want to have people tune in to see it. And then hopefully they stay and see that AEW has other cool stuff. And it's like, you kind of create new fans by using that like clickbait almost.
Maybe. That's a decent point. Anything else on the actual night 2 main event? John Cena looked great out there. The John Cena Rock face-off was awesome.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was cool. All right, got you there.
Cool. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah. I was there. I was there for what was that? 29? Yeah.
29. Yeah, 11 years ago. That was the last time they were in the ring together. The most underappreciated part of the whole main event, the Uso spear off the ramp. Dude, from where they were sitting, it looked like it was 20 feet down. It was they fell and fell and fell, and they just kept going.
And they didn't, like, it happened so fast that there was no way for them to know that they were landing on the tables behind them.
I thought the same thing. I rewatched it, and Jay never even takes a second to pause. So he must have just had the trust that Jimmy was going to be on his mark. And yeah, it didn't look like one of those shitty like crash pad landings either. It looked like they just went through tables. There might have been a crash pad underneath, but the way they shot it was perfect. That was great. I yeeted for that. When Jay hits the spear, I tried to hit a yeet. And you see it in the reaction video. The yeet I keep adding ease because I can't believe how long they're falling in midair.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, once the floodgates opened, it was very exciting. And maybe it's just the young wrestling fan in me that just always believed that Roman would still come out on top regardless, because you just always think the guy's going to win.
Like, you had me half convinced. Like, going into WrestleMania week, I said Cody Rhodes 100%. Then you started texting me and being like, I don't know, dude, especially after night 1. You were like, a lot of finishes went the way people thought they were going to go. There's got to be a big swerve at some point. And you kind of planted that seed of doubt in my mind. I'm glad they didn't go that way, though. We didn't need another year, Roman.
Yeah, we did. But I think the other thing too is that so if Vince were still around, I know we're not supposed to say his name. If Vince were still around, I feel like Roman probably goes over. Yeah, I think that there's a chance
he wants to beat that Hogan record.
That, and also him trademarking Renaissance era.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Vince would have been like, you know what?
Vince would have hated that.
Yeah, now put
WWE though. I noticed when
Stardust, brother.
When he trademarked Renaissance era, the WWE started pushing the Triple H era hard. They started being like, no, it's the Triple H era. We're calling the name on it. We're calling dibs. So it'll be interesting to see if Cody uses that, what he makes of it. I loved him giving the title to Mama Rhodes. It was the moment we all wanted to see. Made me emotional. And you know what else made me emotional as hell? What? Watching the video, especially afterwards, of Samantha Irvin commentating or not comment announcing the win.
Couldn't get through it.
Could not get through. Her voice cracks on the new. I've been watching videos of kids crying. I feel so bad for my nephew. I've talked about it with you. He's as big a Roman mark as you are. So my brother said he was, when the pops happened, he's a huge Undertaker mark too. So pops happened, he gets excited, and then he realized like, oh no, I know why he's here. That's not good for my guy. So
yeah.
He was heartbroken, but he was the only kid I saw heartbroken by it. Most kids were crying for other reasons. They were like crying in tears of joy. One kid, I posted the video, who goes, everybody helped. Oh my God. I just couldn't believe it. It was so cute. It was making me emotional. But yeah, congrats to Cody. Unbelievable. That guy bet on himself and he called his shot every step of the way.
You have to admit this, even as a Cody Bobo, that he looks uncomfortable with the title. Like he
looked great on Raw.
No,
Oh
Bob.
yeah.
On
Yeah.
Raw, Cody had the title over his shoulder. He looked like a child that was holding like the real belt. Like the belt is too big for him.
No.
Yeah, he looked
take.
No, that's a correct take. He looked
bad take.
So out of place with the like he didn't unstrap it. I hate that when you have like, you know, it looks like a giant Apple Watch on your shoulder. Yeah, like that. That looks so stupid. Yeah,
no, this looks good.
No, that
by the way, those that don't know, this is a custom 1-of-1 2K Showdown Showcase Championship.
That's cool.
Because WrestleMania weekend, I won the Celeb Pro-Am 2K tournament. And beat Kofi Kingston in the finals to earn this. So I brought the title home for the basement, Jared.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I was very excited for you.
Kofi lifted me up like Macho Man Miss Elizabeth.
I saw that.
We had a tag team. It was great. New Day Fox. And then they split us up in the end. And I just had to turn heel on Kofi. Like I just saw it in the moment. Sometimes you got to call something on the fly, call an audible. I got a fast count 3 in the main event because
I saw that.
Well, Kofi had screwed over Greg and up, down, down before with a fast count. So he returned the favor as the special guest referee, Greg from This Is Awesome. If you watch on Peacock, great show. And yeah, I saw my opportunity. I took it. They asked Kofi what happened. You guys were such a great team. It was Tyler Breeze and Xavier Woods hosting it. And I stepped in. I said, I'll tell you what happened. Every tag team has a Marty Jannetty. And everyone's like, oh, you know, it's a good moment. But Kofi was great about it. Everyone we hung out with backstage was so cool because we were supposed to go at like 4 p.m. The thing was supposed to start. We were supposed to start at 4:30. The Rock was supposed to show up and do like a Q&A with Michael Cole at 4. The Rock was 2 hours late.
So I thought it was only 1. He was 2?
2 hours late, dude. We went at 6:30. It was crazy. The crowd was getting restless. And he was funny. He was like, I'll tell you why The Rock was late. I was on YouTube watching Jalen Hurts losing the Super Bowl again. You know,
so I saw him say that, and then in my head, I'm like, most of these people probably aren't even from Philadelphia. It's WrestleMania. Like people are coming from all over the world, and I feel like a lot of WWE fans are probably just WWE fans. Like they don't care about football. You know,
people got offended that I said night 1 the Philly crowd was a little underwhelming. People were like, don't call it the Philly crowd. It's the worldwide crowd. I was like, all right, that's kind of fair. But we hung out with Xavier, Tyler Breeze, Bailey, Zelina Vega, Johnny Gargano, Jey Uso, Kofi and Xavier. Did I mention them? They showed me their WrestleMania gear before anyone saw it there because we started talking about gear. I designed gear. I'm a nerd about it. And they were like, all right, if you're a nerd about it, check this out. Tell us what you think. They also showed me a future set of gear that they haven't debuted yet.
What do they say?
Kofi was the man. They said it's going to be for like one of the upcoming Raws. They were like, it's just for an upcoming Raw. It's not like it's themed. It's not city themed or anything. It is themed, a theme that I love, but I can't talk about that. You know, that's us boys keep secrets like that. Us in the biz, you know, us in the biz, we keep secrets like that.
Right. Yeah. It's just a little basement fodder. Actually I did a little speaking engagement last night, and at the end of it, this guy comes up to me. And we're talking for like, 5-10 minutes or whatever. And then at the end, before he walks away, he goes, oh, yeah, by the way, you know who my roommate in college was? And I was like, no, I actually don't. And he was like, Kofi Kingston. And he just walks away.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, BC guy.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say, like, at the end of your speaking engagement, you were like, now acknowledge me.
I mean, I did do that. Yeah. I actually,
that's how you started.
I swear to God, if we pulled video from it, I know I mentioned Roman Reigns in it.
Yes. Okay. I thought you were going to say, I know I told those college kids to acknowledge me.
Yeah, no, I 1000% mentioned Roman Reigns in my speaking engagement. Yes.
So we'll kind of go all over the map here, but to turn things around and hopefully make them a little more positive for you, let's talk about the night 1 main event now. The tag team match that set up night 2, made it bloodline rules. Roman Reigns and The Rock defeat Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. I thought pretty good main event. I thought The Rock looked a lot better than I thought he was going to look, to be honest. I thought he was going to look slow because the WrestleMania 29 match we discussed wasn't the greatest match, and he tore every fucking muscle off his body in it.
Yeah.
This, I thought he looked pretty good. I mean, obviously he's protected by it being a tag team match. He doesn't have to do as much work, but he looked fast. He worked the crowd great. The way he worked Mama Rhodes and he was getting in her face. The finish was pretty good. His entrance was incredible. The championship, I went back and forth on. When I first saw it, I didn't realize it was, given to him from Muhammad Ali's widow and all that. I didn't see that part of the Hall of Fame. I tuned in like at the Paul Heyman part. So I was kind of like, that's weird. He just wants a title for the aesthetic of it. When you know the history of it, it's kind of passed down from Muhammad Ali. It's kind of fucking cool. And then the visual at the end of the night of him and Roman both raising their titles, I was like, all right, it was kind of worth it for that visual.
Mm-hmm. So I thought it was a great main event, but the friends that I had over, like, were all Roman guys. So after the finish, we all kind of just looked around the room and we were like, it's over. Like we like to have Cody take the pin on night one. We all just looked around. It was like, we're like the last gentleman on the Titanic. We were just like, we all just like took a sip or whatever. Yeah, like, hey, it's been a hell of a ride, brother. Yep. It just it was a moment where, as wrestling fans and Roman marks, we all collectively knew that it was probably over. Yeah.
There was even part of me though, night one, that they got me to buy into like one of the false finishes where I thought Cody and Seth were going to win. And that like made me excited, even though I wanted like all the interference in night two. They played so many mind games with us this weekend, to, quote another pay-per-view, mind games.
Yeah. I mean, I think there was no harm in having, I guess if you have Seth take the pin, then it makes, but like, he can't look any worse,
That's the thing. Seth was taking too much offense this weekend. This man was laying down and looking at the lights for everybody. I think it was like, let Cody take the pin night one.
What's another pin to create some reasonable doubt? Like, the second that Cody takes that pin on night one, I'm like, it's over. But if Seth takes the pin, I mean, I feel like a lot of people thought that he was going to lose his title on night two anyway. And then for him, like, you made the point, because I forgot that he had made the reference to the Shield. He said, like, I can be your Shield. And that was obviously a reference to what he was going to do on night two. Yeah, I mean, like, he came out, I don't want to say he came out looking like a loser. He didn't, but I mean, he didn't come out looking great. I mean, it definitely gave me more respect. I mean, I already love and respect Seth Rollins like an immense amount, but I have even more respect for Seth Rollins because he put over everybody, So.
Yeah. And in the main event, I think they could have shot it better because there's a fan angle. I don't know if you saw it on Reddit, but there's a fan angle of him getting in the ring and he's fucking selling from the match before. He's selling like it's a struggle for him to even get to the ring. So they didn't show that on camera. And it kind of just looks like the first you see of him is him getting punched in the face by Roman Reigns. It's kind of like goofy. It's like, oh, like what? He just showed up to get hit and then he gets hit by the chair. Doesn't get a single lick of offense in. But knowing the backstory of him saying, I will be your Shield. I'm the only guy, equipped. He's the only guy that knows when Roman is in the heat of the moment, he will throw away anything to get back at him for what he did. He's never gotten over that heartbreak. Like, that's masterful storytelling. They just could have had a better angle of Seth to show like the struggle, what he's doing, the sacrifice he's making. People compared to, I saw Connor Griffin on Mostly Sports said it was very Star Wars. I agreed with him. There's a Star Wars movie, Jared, where Luke Skywalker shows up at the end to stall Kylo Ren. And then Kylo Ren is so fucking mad at Luke that he's going after Luke. He's not even paying attention to the fact that Luke has a lightsaber that's destroyed. His hair, he looks younger. It's because Luke is a hologram. He's just there to make the sacrifice. He's just there. And Cody's such a Star Wars fan that, like, dude, I wouldn't put it past him to like be like, let's do the Star Wars thing here. Because months ago, I did say to Cody, I said, I feel like your return was the first Star Wars, A New Hope, big happy ending. You beat Seth, but the big bad isn't beaten yet. The second one, WrestleMania 39, Empire Strikes Back. Star Wars where the good guys lose in the end. And it's like, oh, fuck. how are we ever going to defeat the evil empire? Return of the Jedi is the ultimate. Emperor's defeated. The galaxy is celebrating. The good guys win. I compared that to Return of the Jedi. People are now coming out and saying, I said that in August with Cody, and he was like, oh yeah, I love that. People are comparing it to Star Wars now. They're saying, I think Cody's story was Star Wars. And Cody liked that tweet right away. I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
did I plant a little seed in there? I hope so.
Yeah. I mean, I'm happy for Cody. Obviously, I wish that it didn't happen, but I am still as a wrestling fan, I can appreciate someone that like they made it a lot about Dusty, his dad. Like
he never won it. Cody's always chased it.
Like for me, like I respect it far more as someone that's like, hey man, like I've been in the company for X amount of years. Like you're giving me these shit gimmicks. Like I've won the Intercontinental title. Like that's supposed to be like the next step would be the world heavyweight title picture. And he never ascended from the IC title tier in WWE. And then he went down. And for him to be like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm going to go out and prove myself somewhere else. I have far more respect for Cody for all of that than
there
like,
wasn't somewhere else. That's like the most impressive part. He made somewhere else.
He made somewhere
else. You could go to the Indies, you'd go to ROH, and you could combine all of those to make, you know, the Cody Rhodes brand big, but he fucking made something. He did all in, sold 10,000 seats when they said that was impossible for an indie.
Right.
Like he was like, definitely not.
That's why I respect him. Like I care less about the, you know, my dad never won it and now I'm winning it. It was more so like you were looked over and you reinvented yourself and you built a legit competitor elsewhere, left that to come back here as
even after you smashed the throne, you know.
Right, like as the star that you were elsewhere. And yeah, I respect him a lot for that. It's just that Triple H talked about it in his press conference. He said it's really, really difficult to make a true babyface these days because wrestling fans, they want to boo the good guy. Like it's just like, you know, if you're an adult wrestling fan, you're not gonna you're gonna find that corny. It's like that's for the kids.
Heels are cooler, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just with Cody.
2 years now of Cody being this over as a babyface.
Yeah, and I feel like he connects with people because of his, for lack of a better term, his story.
There you go. It's a little more real with Cody. Like him winning the title is like not just his character's goal, like it is his life goal. Like that's why people care. One of your guys also had a big WrestleMania moment. Night 2.
Jinder?
No. I saw Jinder backstage, and dude, I thought about going over and being like, "Can you send a video to my pal Jared?" But it was like a friends and family type, like the wrestlers had their kids there, and I was like, I don't want to ask him for a video right now, so I left him alone. But the Night 2 opener, Drew McIntyre defeats Seth Rollins for the title. Awesome match, like incredible opener. Had the crowd buying all the false finishes. Rollins is kicking out of every claymore that McIntyre sends his way. Eventually, McIntyre beats him clean in the middle of the ring. Great finish. And then he goes and rubs it in CM Punk's face. CM Punk doesn't take that. He tells him to suck it. CM Punk sweeps the leg. He fucking takes the cast off like he's Cowboy Bob Orton, smacks him with the cast. And then Damian Priest's music hits. And I thought they were setting up, especially when Rock and Roman attacked Seth's knee night 1. I was like, oh, they're setting Seth up to be real weak night 2. He'll win narrowly and then get cashed in on. I like this better. I like the way they weaved in Punk. They made Punk a part of WrestleMania. They like gave him a moment where he got a huge pop and a moment that people loved, like the smile he had on his face afterwards, where he's just like, you shouldn't have done that. Like, Drew having that tweet during the match, like bored at work, LOL, and then quote tweeting it afterwards. Fuck. So funny. And Damian Priest, good for him. You know what? I don't know how I feel about him as champ, to be honest. I like Damian Priest. I like that he's a New Yorker. He's another guy that grinded on the indies for a long time. So I like that he's getting his here. We'll see what I make of his title run, but his title win itself, I loved. I loved the Judgment Day, waiting for him at the top of the ramp and celebrating with him. Bisexual Undertaker trended for hours after he won.
Yeah, I loved it. I mean, I'm with you. I don't know what to make of like forecasting it out, like what's it going to look like, who's he going to feud with.
Like his first segment was just, comedy segment with R-Truth.
Yeah,
And
like when he comes up
I
with
liked it. I loved the R-Truth raising the bell. It's super funny.
Yeah.
But like, if you want to make that title real serious, Seth Rollins was the guy to lead the way and take those first steps. But is it just going to be in comedy segments now? I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't know. Like, does it cause friction in the Judgment Day now? Because I mean, like the moment that they had with all of them at the top of the stage, and it's like Rhea's up there with her belt, and Damian Priest has his. Like they've kind of just been workhorses, and honestly, Dom has been at the forefront of that.
Yeah.
Like he's on every damn show, like whether it's a
Yeah.
live event or if it's televised, he's there and he's working it. And he was working Punk to get him back in shape, like when he went to MSG. So yeah, like it was kind of cool to see them all kind of collectively get that moment with Priest winning the title. But yeah, I guess it remains to be seen how the run itself is going to go. Like, do you see him
Like, is it
as
going to be
someone?
long?
That's what I was going to say. Is it going to be transitional?
I don't
Like,
know.
is he kind of
Didn't
just
McIntyre call him a transit? He's like, you're just going to be nothing more than a transitional champ. When he said that, part of me was like, that must mean he's not going to be a transitional champ. You wouldn't let the heel say that if he's going to be, right? But like, I don't know. He'll hold it till SummerSlam, maybe. I could see a title change, like save a big one for the Cleveland show.
maybe?
But also, who would take it off? Drew would probably take it off of him, right?
Or Punk?
Yeah, true. Punk did say in that interview,
Punk
like
seems
with
like
Helwani, he
he's
said
fine.
he's healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He took the cast off and he was beating him with it.
Yeah, it could be Punk, and Seth comes back later on. They said Seth is going to take some time off, make sure his knee is all good. Seth comes back later on, and you could set that up. People are already talking about next year being. I saw, Meltzer said that he thinks next year is going to be Rock versus Cody. Obviously, it's so far away that anything can change before then. I still feel like Rock and Roman is the match. I feel like you give Cody another challenger, and like Rock and Roman at the head of the table. That's the fucking match right there. Have Rock challenge Cody the next time he comes back, whether that's SummerSlam, Survivor Series, whatever. And you have Roman screw the Rock or beat him down after the match. Like, why the fuck did you think you could come after my title? Like,
Yeah.
I know you think you're the final boss. I'm the head of the table here. And then have them disagree about that. I would have Rock babyface for that. Would you? When they eventually do Rock Roman?
I think you can.
I think you can do either, to be honest. Rock is
You
such
can
a good
have
heel
them.
in this final boss mode, but
You can have them both be heel, but I think Roman comes out looking like the babyface.
yeah.
People want to boo The Rock right now.
I know, and people want to cheer Roman right now. Even on Cody's promo, he kind of shouted out Roman in a way, and they got the thank you Roman chance. Exactly.
Let's see. Roman Reigns tweeted today, which is interesting because he didn't do the press conference after WrestleMania.
That was smart.
Yeah, I agree. He tweeted, it's a video of him just walking on the treadmill, and it says, "Yesterday I mourned. Today is day one." So he's already like it's not like you're not writing me off TV.
And I thought it would be that. I thought we wouldn't hear a peep from him, not a tweet, not an Instagram post. I thought maybe Heyman would come address it on Raw or something, or Heyman will probably be on SmackDown because I don't think Rock will be on SmackDown. But we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how they address it. We'll see how they bring Roman back. I hope Roman's not gone too long, but my gut says he'll probably be gone till SummerSlam.
I don't know.
But I don't know. They got the next 3 out of the next 4 pay-per-views are international ones.
Yeah.
It'd be fucking cool for him to show up at one of those. Like the crowd would go insane at one of those.
Do you think that if they hold him out for any amount of time right now, like say it's a month or two, that he's going to get a babyface reaction when he returns?
I think the longer you hold him out for, yeah.
Yeah, because he's not going to do anything to turn babyface. Like
And
it's almost
and right now, they being the heel was the fact that he had the power of being the champion and was always cheating to win. Without the title,
what is he?
Yeah.
That's why he should have won.
No.
Yes.
You give him an inch and he takes a mile.
Bob, listen. We know what Cody can be without the title. We know that. He can still be super over, move merch, sell out house shows. People come to
Set a
see Cody.
WrestleMania merch record. Did you see that? Nobody's
WrestleMania
ever
merch
sold more
record.
merch at WrestleMania than Cody.
He doesn't need the title to do that.
But the
What
face
is
of the company should have the title.
Roman is the face of the company.
Not anymore. He ain't. He was in
He
the
is.
Vince era. This ain't the Vince
No,
era, brother. This is the
no.
Triple H era. The Paul
Roman is
Levesque era.
still the face of the company.
Paul Levesque. Paul Levesque. You see them chant that at the Hall of Fame?
I don't like using government names as it pertains.
They chanted that, and you saw Sami behind Triple H. He leaned forward. He's like, that has to be the first time that happened, right? Triple H was nodding. He was like, yeah. Nice to see Stephanie back, too. She kicked off night 2. She was at the Hall of Fame. She wore like the throwback ECW hat that she used to wear when she was with him. I thought that was great. Yeah. She had a good "Are you ready?" Triple H, his promo at the beginning of night 1 was hysterical. Just he came out and said, "Welcome to WrestleMania," because they want to stop using Vince's soundbite of him saying "Welcome to WrestleMania." So now they have
I like it.
I also love the night 1 main event. Rhea retains her title against Becky. Found out afterwards, Rhea had a panic attack right before she went through the curtain. Becky had a 102 fever and strep throat. So the fact that they went out there, despite those circumstances, and delivered a great opening match, I thought was pretty awesome.
Rhea had a panic attack?
I know. Yeah. It's like, I have panic attacks. I didn't think like Rhea Ripley was the kind of person who would have panic attacks. And that's foolish. That's why you got to end the stigma on stuff like that. But yeah, she seems like the most confident person walking the face of the earth.
Yeah. I mean, she main evented a similar size crowd in her home country. You would think that would be a bigger thing. And maybe she freaked out about that too. I don't know, but that is surprising. Wow.
Yeah. Loved that match. I liked the crazy ladder match that followed it on night 1, the 6-pack challenge. I didn't love we all knew they were going to split the titles based on the way they announced the stipulation of like both sets have to be treated. It's like, well, that's never happened.
And they had them on. Yeah. Like once I saw what it looked like, I was like,
that was the other thing. I was like, this is the first ladder match in history. We're setting up a ladder in the middle of the ring. Is not going to
work. Yeah.
You can't reach the titles. So I didn't like that. I felt like it put a weird like lull on the match when Austin and Grayson won the first set.
No one cared. That's why
no one cared. No one knew it was happening. Yeah, definitely. And then the moment we got of honestly, one of the best moments of night 1 is R-Truth getting the hot tag in a ladder match, hitting all of his childhood hero John Cena's moves, and then getting a pinfall. 1, 2, 3, get a big pop and everything. Them winning was a good WrestleMania moment as well. That almost reminded me of Zack Ryder getting his WrestleMania moment, where it was like, R-Truth, this guy's never won at WrestleMania. He's never won the tag titles with The Miz, despite them being a tag team for a while. Remember, they were so violent as a tag team. They did like the roster walked out on WWE and Punk had to commentate and shit like that.
Yep.
So it was a good moment for them. Also, I was happy for The Miz because we spent so much time with him backstage before the video game thing. He was the coolest guy in the world and knew an incredible amount about Barstool. Like, I think he follows it decently close. He was talking about Clemmer's solitary confinement stream. It's like, God. Oh, you know what you're talking about then. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Miz is cool. I remember like during the pandemic, he came on the podcast with us and was just like shooting the shit. Yeah. He's always available for media.
And they were trying to round everyone up to go on stage for the tournament. And they were like, come on, everyone on stage. We were all mic'd up and everything. And like me, Brandon Walker, and The Miz were the only 3 people in the entire group that listened to instructions and were there. And Miz turned around. He's like, what the fuck? Let's look at us. The 2 Barstool guys and The Miz. Who would have thought we were the most like buttoned up, paid attention? Yeah. That was good. The Mysterio Andrade versus Santos and Dirty Dom. It was fine. It wasn't bad, but it was kind of a nothing match. They did it for the Travis Kelce moment, it seemed, or Jason Kelce.
Kelce. Yeah. So I, not that I give up too much of a fuck, but like there were no turns during this WrestleMania. Nobody turned. Nobody.
Is that right? Like, yeah. No heel turn, no face turn.
Nothing. And I feel like Carlito was, there was a chance for that in this match.
That could have been good.
Yeah, I mean, not that like, you know, it's not like a white hot rivalry or storyline that's going on there, but I mean, just to see something, yeah, like, and then Adam Pearce tweets out like, "Oh, you never know who's gonna show up on the Raw after Mania." No one fucking showed up. Nobody.
Couple guys from NXT, yeah,
there were no turns at WrestleMania, no returns. at the Raw after Mania. Not to be a
Yeah, that was
Debbie
the
Downer.
thing. I thought the Raw after Mania was a great Raw. I don't know if it was a great Raw after Mania. Like, we didn't get those Raw after Mania moments. The
No.
opening segment, too, was like, I thought it started really strong. Cody, emotional video package. I'm fucking crying. I'm explaining to my girlfriend why I'm crying. Good stuff. I
Enough of
didn't
it.
like The Rock's promo when he came out. And then I'll let you hold mine if you let me hold yours. It's like, what? That sounds a little sus, fellas. What
Well,
are we
there's got to
doing
be a
here?
reason for that. They didn't do that for no reason. Like that's got to be a callback to something.
He
That's going to
gave
set up
him.
something.
Well, I saw Cody Rhodes came out in like 2013 when The Rock unveiled his title, and Cody was like, "I want to like look at it." I don't know if it was referencing that or not. I couldn't believe they had a segment going back to 2013. I thought that was really cool.
Mm.
And then The Rock handed him something. The hell could that be? It was so tiny that it's like I don't know what it could be.
I don't
We
know what
couldn't
it
see it. It
could
fit
be.
in their hands.
Well, he's got big hands.
Yeah, he does. True. And he's like,
Mm.
"Don't ever break The Rock's heart again." We both know what this is.
Well, what
I
did
don't
he?
know.
How did he break it the first time?
Yeah, yeah. Very, very confusing segment there. But yeah, at this point, I'm at the point in my wrestling fandom where seeing Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania, I feel like I'm watching like an older player, and I'm just grateful that he's there.
Yeah, yeah. We love Ray.
Jimmy and Jey Uso, night one. One of the most anticipated matches of the weekend for
I wanted to
everybody.
love
This
it.
was like, dude, the amount of no yeet shirts I saw WWE World, the Access renamed. I was like, who the fuck is that Jimmy Uso guy? I don't know.
Yeah.
Jimmy had so many guys, but there were a lot of the red no yeet shirts, a lot of the yeet shirts. All the kids were making custom yeet glasses. They had like a craft station. Kids were literally, I saw a kid making yeet glasses. I was like, this is fucking cool.
Love that.
The match was pretty hot, like crowd for it. I mean, night one, the crowd wasn't as good because it was fucking freezing and windy. But the crowd had, Lil Wayne for Jay's entrance. They're doing the yeet.
That was
They were
terrible.
doing the yeet with every moment of offense for Jay, but the match never kicked into a high gear. Unfortunately, it's not a Brett and Owen. It's more of a Matt and Jeff Hardy, like WrestleMania 25, where it was like, man, we thought that was going to be awesome.
Yeah,
The
it was
super kick spot was just, it felt like that went on
which
forever.
one? Yeah, like the whole fucking match was super kicks. The whole
Yeah.
match was super kicks. I was like the expectations that I had for it, it didn't come close to meeting my expectations. And obviously, I'm a bloodline Bobo.
Yeah. I thought
I
that I was like, that match might make us cry. Like going into it, I was like, they're gonna pull on the heartstrings. And
yeah,
I think they tried to tell us it's like it's hypocritical, but they tried to tell a story a little too much. I felt like I think the fans kind of just wanted them to go out and have a banger, like and have some psychology in there for the finish or the climax. But like I don't know, they started strong, didn't like Jay attack Jimmy right off the bat, run out of the ring. Like it should have been more of that, more of a sprint.
yeah, it didn't live up to the hype for me. And like Rikishi was there for the Hall of Fame. How do you not have Rikishi involved here? Like just add to the
Exactly.
story. It didn't add to their story, it didn't take away from the story. I didn't feel like it
No,
resolved anything. It
no,
didn't like further it down the line. It didn't add a new wrinkle. Like it's just I don't know. Like I
very
think
forgettable.
yeah, like I mean everyone on paper, it's like obviously Jay's gonna win this match, and then it's like that felt like a spot that you could have swerved us because
Yeah,
like Jimmy is like I've said
totally.
before has been a stooge ever since he rejoined the
Yeah,
bloodline. Like of course he's been built towards not winning this match. Jay's main event Jay, you think he's gonna fucking lose to a stooge? No. So if there's no interference, why are we surprised that Jay won? Like where's the like I don't know. There was no
yeah.
twist. There was no turn. Like it didn't do anything. It just
I
was.
This was another one where I thought 99% Jay's gonna win. But when we started talking about it mid-match, we were like, this would be the spot for a swerve. Like you put Jimmy over, I don't think it would hurt Jay, to be honest, even though he's main event Jay and Jimmy's a stooge, like you said. I think people look at the Usos on the same level because they're twins, so they're the same. But yeah, so disappointing. Definitely the biggest disappointment of the weekend was the Uso match.
I agree.
Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, Naomi defeat Damage Control. This is 8 minutes. It was another one where I would compare it to the Ray match. I don't think it was bad, but it was fine. Everyone
It was
looked
a
good in
filler
it.
match,
Yeah.
but I will say that like little fucking pin thing that Jade does, where she, like
Oh yeah.
that did something for me, brother.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a storm is coming. Tell you what, a
yeah.
storm is coming. Not the only thing that's coming.
Hell,
My match of the night 1. Sami Zayn defeats Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship.
Mhm.
I was really looking forward to this match. I was a little worried, to be honest, because it felt like there was definitely a portion of the fans that wanted Chad Gable in this spot. And I
Yeah,
would have liked to see Chad Gable in this spot as well. I thought the Gable Gunther feud was amazing. But when Sammy starts his entrance and he's talking to his wife and kid, he says goodbye to his kid. I don't want my kid to be out there. I don't want him to see this. Then he goes and he talks to Chad Gable and they have their talk. By the way, we didn't have audio in the crowd, which was crazy. I had to go back and like watch this segment. We just saw it playing with no audio. It was crazy. Then he gets to Gorilla. And when he turns that corner, Kevin Owens is just standing there with his arms
smacking him.
crossed, smacks him in the face. He's like, go do it. Go do it. He's in his face going nuts. That crowd is going nuts. Like that was the perfect little pre-match segment that was needed to get the crowd fired up for the match. And the crowd stayed fired up for the whole match. He hit the fucking brain buster on the turnbuckle. A shout out to El Generico for the first time in his WWE career. Feels like something that Vince probably said, yeah, that move's banned as soon as he saw a video of it. And then Triple H was like, fuck it, it's WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And he dethroned Gunther. It was a big, underdog babyface win before we got the ultimate underdog win night 2. Did you like this? Did you like the title change? Do you like that it's off Gunther now?
I loved it. Yeah. One of my buddies that was there was like, wow, this is awesome. Like the way that they're presenting it, this has to be like his first singles title win in WWE. I was like, brother, this is his 4th time being IC champ alone.
Yeah.
Just with that belt. But yeah, no, I loved it. I mean, I think it's not a consolation prize. It's not, but it's a reward for I think how awesome he was. Like he was never gonna beat Roman for the title, but it was
That match
like
is so fucking good. I rewatched that match last week, just hyping up for
the
WrestleMania.
Rumble.
No, the Montreal match.
Okay,
With
yeah,
Roman versus Sammy.
yeah,
Oh my God, that's a good match. That's
yeah,
like the crowd is Money in the Bank 2011 levels. It's
correct,
crazy.
correct. But yeah, like he was never gonna beat Roman on this run. He was never gonna be the guy to dethrone Roman. But it's like, all right, well, you can dethrone the next most dominant guy in the company, and you can win a
Yeah.
title, and it's the next most important title.
666 days he held it for. That's
Yeah,
funny. He's like the devil.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
think I honestly don't think it hurts Gunther at all. I think it elevates Gunther. I think Gunther
correct.
just gets slotted up into the main event picture. He could be Cody Rhodes' first challenger. I don't know.
I agree, and I think he will be, unless he's working with Damian Priest, and I don't know. There's some sort of like
No, because I don't think they'll do that because what's his face? Jay won on Raw last night, so they'll start building to that right away.
yeah, we'll see. But yeah,
He's the new
Gunther
number 1 contender.
immediately just goes into the main event scene now, which it's him dropping the title to Sammy. It's like, Sammy, this is your reward for how awesome your work was during that run. And now Gunther, it's like you graduate. Like it was a win for both guys, and it was a great
Yeah.
match.
And it would have been great to see Chad Gable in that spot. We'll get the Chad Gable Sami Zayn feud now, which is going to be awesome. It'll probably start as a friendly feud. It seemed that way on Raw at least. But Sammy main evented WrestleMania Night 1 last year. Like you got to find a good spot on the card for him the year after that. And this was the perfect spot. Like in hindsight, I feel like even the Gable fans could probably agree. This was a great move, great moment at WrestleMania. Night 2, going back to night 2, the Philadelphia street fight between the Pride, Bobby Lashley, Angelo Dawkins, Montez Ford, against the Final Testament, Karrion Kross and the Authors of Pain. Got to be honest, was not looking forward to this at all. Even though they slapped the Philly street fight gimmick on it, I was like, oh, that's a filler match if I've ever seen one. That's a WrestleMania kickoff match if they used to do kickoff matches. I was pretty pleasantly surprised by it when they have Bubba come out as the special guest referee. He's got a tucked in shirt. He looks hysterical in a tucked in shirt. And then they do the little spot where he puts on the glasses. They do the what's up. The table spot at the end. That was tough when they just put him on the table and it broke. It was like,
yeah.
Oh, no. But yeah, it was fine for exactly what it was. It was, again, an 8-minute match, much like the girls match on night 1. You just needed to fill some time, do a couple fun spots, get the crowd to pop. They did it.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. It would have been cool if Devon came out. But yeah, I mean, everyone got their shit in, and it was a nice little crowd pleaser.
LA Knight and AJ, pretty good match, but like nothing out of the ordinary. I think it went the way many of us thought it would. The finish, I thought, almost came out of nowhere. Like I thought we were going to get a couple false finishes with people doing finishes. I think it was the first time LA Knight hit the finish, and he got the 1, 2, 3. AJ's new music.
Terrible, dude. Oh no.
Bro, how do you change AJ Styles' music? He's got one of the best themes in the company.
Yeah, I don't
like
know.
One that's at least recognizable right off the bat.
Right. Very short.
And the AJ got no pop.
Well, yeah, because no one knew it. That was a debut.
Yeah. I hated
I don't
it.
know.
I absolutely hated it.
It's not, and
I like the fight they got into at Media Day, though. I thought that was cool.
That was cool. Bloody nose.
Yeah.
But it's not gonna be a theme that grows on me.
I don't think so. You know what is the ultimate theme that grew on me that we used to argue about on the early days of From the Top Rope?
What?
To Burn It Down in Seth Rollins.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, I used to say that specific soundbite of Burn It Down. I used to be like, that's horrible. They got to take that out.
Yeah.
I'm in on it. It's like synonymous with Seth Rollins at this point.
Have to be, yeah.
Hand up. You were right, Jared. You were right.
Thank you.
All those years ago.
Thank you.
Logan Paul defeats Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. Retains
you want to talk about someone that
only
needs new music?
Logan Paul.
Oh my God, he's like one of the biggest stars in your company, and he has like generic ass music. Like, come on.
It is. Yeah, I like to call it DVD loading screen music. It just feels like it's meant to loop. And he had his Pride entrance coming out on the Pride truck. Obviously, Pride branded all over the ring. I didn't love that. I was fine with the Pride, but the Prime in the ring, I didn't hate, to be honest.
I was like,
the
Pride
different ads.
Like we're just doing...
no.
I was like, he came out in the Pride truck.
The different LED ads for every match. I hated the look of that. Like the American Home Shield for the main event, the Wingstop, the fucking Les Fruscas, the dude wipes all over the place. It was like a little less branding, especially because it was LEDs. I think there's just too many lights in WWE in general. Too many LED lights all over everything shouldn't be a screen. They're putting screens on screens, Jared.
Yeah. But at the same time, like it's a business, and
I get it. You watch sports. NBA's got the rotating, ads on the court. Yeah,
put
whatever.
The logo, put the Prime logo in the ring, and put the ads on the.
I didn't hate the Prime logo as much as I thought I would.
I didn't even notice it. Like
the
only time I noticed it was when Cody was in the ring and he kissed the ring and
he kissed it.
Kissed the Prime bottle. Yeah, like that's the only time that I noticed it. But yeah, I mean, it's like you have to look at it at like we don't even have pyro anymore. Like, how many guys have pyro? It's like Bobby Lashley, Cody Rhodes, and like it was part of like budget cuts. They're like, yeah, we just it's expensive, dude. You're $1 billion company. What do you mean it's expensive? So,
a couple of fireworks, couple of fucking bottle rockets. Too much to ask for.
What are we talking about here? So yeah, I mean,
I like this match though. I thought this match was pretty fucking good. And another one where I was like, that was exactly what it needed to be. It wasn't like it didn't blow me away. I wasn't like this was the match of the weekend. But you got your viral moment of I Show Speed, the streamer getting RKO'd, the guy that was in the Prime bottle suit.
Yeah.
You got your funny moment in the entrance of Kevin Owens backing up the golf cart and picking Randy Orton up, being like, fuck his truck, get in. Let's go kick Logan Paul's ass. You got an awesome RKO out of nowhere when Kevin Owens went for the pop-up power bomb, got RKO'd himself. I love Kevin Owens ECW gear too. I'm a sucker for like the themed Philly shit like that. I know Seth Rollins did the Mummers Parade night one. People loved that. Local Philly people loved that. But yeah, good match. I was okay with Logan Paul retaining. Obviously, I'm a Kevin Owens guy, so I was rooting for Kevin, and I would have liked to see him win the most. But on a WrestleMania where Rhea is the only other champ that retained, I got it. And also, Logan Paul's been doing a pretty good job getting that U.S. title everywhere, bringing it to UFC, pissing people off because he brought it to UFC, having it on the table while he does his podcast. It's a smart move by them.
Yeah, he's
a walking Prime WrestleMania. He's got the thing of him retaining the title in the Prime ring, whatever.
Yeah, and it's a title that like he can just hang on to, and no one's gonna notice if he's just like a champion for like 2 years and holds it. No one's gonna be like, come on, like you got to free up the U.S. title. It's like, nah, just go walk around with a big gold belt with the WWE logo on it. Go for it, dude.
Yeah. Although my one knock on Logan Paul is that I couldn't leave WrestleMania because him and Jake wouldn't stop shutting the fuck up in the hallway. Like they were just talking in the hallway afterwards. and they had a big crowd around him because it's Logan and Jake Paul talking, so that everyone's trying to film them, and we couldn't get out. So we were like, Jesus Christ,
When was this?
Right after night 2. Right after the main event. They're in like the suite hallway. So I see a security guard and he goes, guys, we got to clear this hallway. And he starts pushing his way through. I'm like, yes, this is my fucking guy. He don't give a fuck about the Pauls. I'm getting right behind this guy. We're making a beeline. We're going to hit the shuttle. We'll get back to the hotel. As soon as he saw the Pauls, he fucking whipped out his phone. He just started taking a video. He's like, oh, cool, Pauls. I was like, oh, I thought you were my guy.
Yeah.
I thought this was my guy. Yeah, he didn't clear the way at all. He waited for them to be done talking.
Damn.
Like, fuck. And then the only match we haven't talked about all weekend, Bayley defeats Io Sky via pinfall. I was pleasantly surprised by how hot the crowd was for this match. This match is in a tricky spot. You're the match before the main event on night 2. We've seen a lot of wrestling this weekend, especially if you're one of the hardcore fans that was at SmackDown and you go to an indie show and NXT Stand and Deliver and 2 nights of WrestleMania. The crowd was really, really hot for Bayley. Little weird entrance. She had like an Egyptian pharaoh entrance. I was like, I don't know where that came from, but cool. Her gear looked cool. Io Sky had a lot of heat, and they put on a pretty fucking good match. Io Sky had that cool reversal where she like fucking flipped and landed on her feet. Bayley had a good fire up comeback. Bayley to belly suplex. She hit a new finish, like the old Dirty Deeds move is her new finish, I guess.
Yeah.
The first way he did it, the forwards faceplant DDT. It's a tricky move because I feel like always, no matter who uses it, half the people that take it really well, and half the people that take it make it look like shit. You almost don't have control over how it's going to look. So I don't know if she'll continue to use that, but I was happy to see this. I hope I could say this. I heard like Bayley, like kind of like, not to expose the business here, talking about her match before WrestleMania. So it was really cool to like watch her match and be like, oh shit, she fucking called that a couple days ago. She said she was going to do that move and she did it. So yeah, I thought that was cool.
I'll be honest with you, Bob. I watched the whole match. I have no recollection of it because I was freaking out about Roman and Cody. Like I saw it, but I was
you were counting down the minutes.
Yeah, I was like, what time is it? I was like, what time is it? How much time you got left? Like, what time? Like when they went on at like 10.
The main event, right?
9:30.
The main event went on so early.
Yeah, it was like 9:30. Like when they started to run the video package for the main event at like 9:30. I was like, what the fuck? I was like,
I think bell to bell, it was like 50 minutes or something, the match. Because I saw someone posted the full match on Twitter and it was like a 50-minute video.
Yeah. Like and
then a long celebration afterwards that seemed not like, I don't want to be like, it wasn't planned, it was a shoot, brother. But like, it almost seemed a little awkward at points when he was like, get out of here, Bruce Pritchard and Triple H. And they played Cody's theme again while Triple H was walking out there. And then like, I thought Cody was going to maybe get back on the mic after they came out and say something, but he just wanted them out there for the celebration. Listen, it was a beautiful celebration. I'm not knocking the celebration, but I for sure thought WrestleMania went off the air before he called out Triple H and Bruce Pritchard. I was surprised to find out. And it felt like we listened to Cody's theme on loop for 20 minutes leaving the arena too.
Oh yeah.
The amount of times the crowd went, whoa, just over and over and over again. Yeah. And then the other funny thing that on night 1, we're leaving the arena and Brandon was kind of like playfully giving us shit about how many people were recognizing him and not me and Nate. And as we're leaving, we're in the crowd and, you know, you do the WrestleMania shuffle out where everyone's shuffling 2 inches at a time. It's horrible every time. Yeah. Every WrestleMania never gets easier. And we just started going under our breath. Brandon, we love you. Brandon, big fan. Everyone, thank you. Thank you. Yep. And like, you know, 5 minutes passed. We've done it to him a dozen times. We got him a dozen times. He turns around. He's like, a lot of people recognizing me, boys. You see that? And we're like, you want to know a secret? It was us for the past 5 minutes. And he was cracking up. It was a fun time. Really fun time. I wish you could have been there, Jared.
I would have loved to have been there with you, Bob. That was a nightmare getting out of, what was that, WrestleMania 31?
35. You and me at MetLife. That I've been to, at this point, 10 nights of WrestleMania. 8 actual WrestleManias, but obviously 2 of them were 2-night WrestleManias.
Yeah. 10
shows. Nothing was as bad as you and me at WrestleMania 35. I think we were like, all right, we can't get an Uber. We can't get on a train. We're both trying to go back to New York City.
We walked like 2 miles away from
the highway.
Stadium. Yes.
We got on the highway and just started walking.
And had to like pay a cabbie that
kind of cab.
He's like, I don't like this cab is not supposed to go into the city. And we were like, brother, how much? You know,
Yeah.
like everybody's got a price.
And it was cold, it was raining.
It was
We had just
raining.
watched like the longest WrestleMania. It was an
Literally
8-hour WrestleMania with that
literally the longest
Ronda
WrestleMania of all
Rousey main
time.
event. Yeah, and then we recorded a podcast right afterwards. Credit to you, because it was, my mom's basement. I was like, you want to record a podcast at 4 a.m? And you're like, I guess so, Bob. You know what? Credit to Jared, because especially after WrestleMania 40, the fact that you were available for media, very nice. Those tweets, people didn't give you any time. It was too soon. The guy that said, is Jared available for media?
I said no.
I saw that.
I
You weren't
responded,
yet
no.
available. Yeah. That's why this is
No.
coming Tuesday night. We needed to give him time. Yesterday he mourned. Today is day one.
Yeah. Well, yesterday, Sunday night, Roman loses. Monday morning, I have therapy, MLB Network, baseball is dead. Then, where did I have to go? I had to go somewhere.
Back to therapy to talk about
Back
rings.
to therapy. Then I had to do Section 10. It was like the longest day ever, but I feel like I had to like also go somewhere yesterday. I can't remember. Yeah, and then today, wake up, go to Fenway, come back, have dinner, like throw
What
down
were you
dinner,
doing at
and then
Fenway?
talk about watching the Red Sox lose 7-1.
Sorry,
Yep.
I had to rub that in. That was mean of me, but yeah.
Trevor Story season's over, and yep. So yeah, basically, I'm not exaggerating. Since Roman lost, all I've done is go to sleep and perform tasks. I haven't had a second to just sit alone with my thoughts yet since Roman.
I feel like that's like depression. I feel like that's like you look up depression in the dictionary and you got it.
Well, it's the opposite because I haven't had a chance to really face the moment.
It hasn't set in. You're saying.
No. And
are you afraid, like, for the moment where it does set in?
Yeah, I am. So, like, maybe you can relate. You can definitely relate to this. But like, so back when I was in like middle school, we would like that was when the pay-per-views were on like Sunday nights or whatever, and it was almost like every pay-per-view, the build-up was just like, man, like life isn't going to be the same on the other side of this. You know, like every pay-per-view, like the build to every pay-per-view was like, shit is going to hit the fan tonight, and we are going to be living in a completely different world on Monday morning.
And if I don't see it live, like my world is over. Like I need to see it live.
Yes. So like what I would do, like my best friend growing up, I haven't seen him in 20 years now, but hopefully he's doing well somewhere. We haven't spoken either. I don't know where he is.
Hopefully
but
he hears this.
Hopefully he hears this. His name's Andrew. And it used to be we would get a pay-per-view. He would get a pay-per-view, and then we would take a month off.
See, so that's great to have a buddy system.
Yes,
but I was the same way. Like I couldn't get every pay-per-view. I was rich. Like the pay-per-views were fucking costly.
Yeah, back then they were what, like $40, $50?
For me, they were like 65, like growing up. And my mom was great. Like I would try to make her feel guilty the morning after. Like if she didn't buy me pay-per-view. So I would either be like, everyone I wanted to see win, they all won. And I missed it. And she'd be like, well, at least they all won. That's so good. Like, I'm so happy for you. And if they lost, I'd be like, oh my God, everyone lost last night. She'd be like, well, thank God we didn't buy it.
Thank God we didn't waste that money on that.
Mama Fox had it down. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause I remember like, we would have the 1 month it was at my house, 1 month it was at his, and then we would take the month off. And that month off, before I went to school, my dad would print out the results. So it'd be like, this match, summary, winner. And I remember being like, wait a second, can you like do that before? And he's like, no. He's like, it's not like I can like get the results before they happen. But I thought he was like
hitting on Vince.
Yeah, being like, here's the script.
Send me the call sheet for tonight.
Yeah. But that like I had to. You weren't cool unless you knew what
you
was
had
happening.
to know.
Had to at least know like Austin's still the champ, or like he got screwed over last night. But
I didn't have to go through the printouts. I had WWE.com at least, where it was.
Well, that was WWE.com.
Oh, okay. I see.
He would print off the results that I would have like the physical piece of paper to take to school with me.
Gotcha.
So that I knew.
Could show your friends and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's kind of how like this WrestleMania felt. Like it was like the first time that since I was a kid that I felt a loss at a pay-per-view that lingered into my personal life.
Yeah.
Like, like cuz I remember like being a Kane fan and having to go to school that Tuesday, like walking into school the Monday after King of the Ring 98 being like, fucking, here's my dick, suck it, dude. I'm the champ. And then having to show up on Tuesday being like, fuck. Like, and he never won
Yeah.
again. He never
Yeah.
won again. Like I had
Wait,
one day.
Kane?
No, Kane never won the
Wait,
WWE title
well,
ever again. He won the World
you
Heavyweight
get the
title
world heavyweight
on the
over
big
my
gold
guy
belt. He
Ray. Yeah.
never won the WWE title ever again. I
Yeah.
had it for 24 hours. I was
At least
9.
you had it for 24. Ray won it for fucking 2 hours, and then John Cena beat him for it on Raw. That was
He
crazy.
doesn't
And then
deserve
CM
it.
Punk came back.
Kane deserved it. I mean, like, yeah,
Bro,
I
Ray's
got
top
to
10.
be WWE champion for 24 hours. So to have my guy Roman be champion for 4 fucking years, I
Yeah.
deserved it. I
You got a lot of
deserved
time.
that run. Yeah.
You got a lot of time with him as champ. Yeah.
I did. And yeah, but like,
The last time a wrestling loss lingered like that for me, obviously Daniel Bryan's retirement, that wasn't like a loss. That's like he retired due to like injury circumstances. So I wouldn't count that. When Undertaker beat Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 26 and it meant the end of his career,
yeah.
I definitely tried to get off school the next day. I definitely tried to be
Mhm.
like, my stomach, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
can't
throw,
do
I
it.
think my,
Yeah.
my poop. And my mom was like, I know you're fucking sad over the heartbreak, kid. Go to school.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
sad though, but at least for you, this isn't the end of Roman's career. As he said, it's day one. I don't think it's the last time Roman's going to hold the title. I think Roman is once again going to be WWE champ at some point.
Uh-huh.
I don't think it'll last as long as this title reign did, but his career is far from over. Despite some people, they posted the hug with Heyman at the top, and they're like, they're both going to retire together on top. It's like, are you crazy? I know that Roman Reigns doesn't have another fucking 20 years in the tank, but
No.
on this current schedule where he's a part timer, he can wrestle 4 times a year for the next 5, 6, 7 years if he wants to.
Right. Yeah, it's not over. It's not over. It's just the end of a run that yeah, I think this run like brought me back. Like I was fading a little bit. Like obviously like I was still super into it, but like I wasn't missing Raw or SmackDown like during this run.
Yeah.
Like before it was like
You're
I
talking
definitely
the whole Roman title run, or like specifically this WrestleMania?
I mean definitely this WrestleMania, but like more so like during this run, like I was buying the merch again, like
Yeah.
I was going to show like
You have so much Roman merch. Are you going to buy his whole Jordan line? I assume you are.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Air
Yeah.
Reigns. It is
Yeah.
pretty fire.
Yeah. It
It's
looks
also
amazing.
super fucking cool. Like as a wrestling fan, like wrestling is obviously not always the coolest thing. Roman Reigns having a Jordan line kind of makes wrestling cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Paul Levesque went on with Complex to do like
I
the
saw
sneaker
that.
shopping with like Joe LaPuma.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, he's like, I respect the hell out of Travis Scott for being to influence the sneaker industry because he's cool and he can make things cool. And he's like, you know who else can make stuff cool? Us, like WWE. He's like, you ever
Yeah.
go into like other stadiums and like their professional sports teams are playing wrestling entrance themes, and he's like, you don't think that if we put out like a John Cena sneaker or like a whatever sneaker that people wouldn't buy it? Like, of course they would.
Dude, that's a missed opportunity. Cena should have had shoes. Well, I think he did actually have shoes in his prime. I think he went,
He
but
still
not in his
can't.
prime.
Like
He had
Jordans didn't
shoes
take off until
around.
after he retired.
True. Cena
Like,
had shoes for WrestleMania 30, I think. I think he had like a green pair of shoes for that Bray match. Not green, but they were like white and green with green trim or something.
yeah, I think I mean Cena wore the Kowloon
Yeah.
ones, Air Force
Yeah.
Ones at WrestleMania last year. So
That was awesome. Yeah.
I have
You
signed
have
pair
another
of them.
pair, right? Yeah.
I do. Yep, signed by Bobby Wong and Andy Wong. Never worn them. They're just in a display
No, you
case in
can't.
my
Yeah,
skater
you can't.
closet. Yeah, never wear those.
I still got to make it to Kowloon. I would love to make it there one of these days.
What is it? SmackDown?
Some coming to Boston soon.
I think it's July. It's not that soon. But
Mm.
yeah, I mean, you gotta
All right.
come. Like you gotta come to like a do like a show. Well, we had fucking war games here and I had 6 seats, and I'm pretty sure I told you to come. I'm pretty sure I asked you. I invited you to come.
I think you did. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I have 4 seats for War Games, and I went backstage, and I'm sure they would have loved to have had you involved with that.
The boys love it when Robbie's backstage.
Yeah, boys love Rob backstage.
Love when he's just lingering around. Yeah.
Yeah. So like next time you gotta come. We gotta do Kowloon.
I know. I want to reunite with Coley too. I know he's not he's not living in Boston and stuff, but I texted him today because I saw a Coley and Tyler doppelgangers walking together in the city. I swear on 7th Ave, I'm like, oh my God, Coley and Tyler, what the fuck are they doing here? And it was not them. They turned around. I was like, oh. I was like fake Diesel and fucking fake Kane versions of them.
Yeah.
Anything else on WrestleMania? That's all I got.
This felt good to vent. Like I needed to say those things. I needed to make the point about like a favorite wrestler being like a favorite sports team. Like for shame, the people that shamed me into wanting Roman to win, it's like you're not a good wrestling fan. If you don't have a guy that you stick with, heel and shit gimmick and all that stuff,
I won't say you're not a good wrestling fan.
You gotta because you're just popping off.
Some people ride for the storyline though.
That's
Some
fine.
people ride for like, I just want the best storyline at all times.
I mean, I'm invested in other wrestlers' storylines. It's just they're not my favorite wrestler.
I do think it's normal to have a favorite wrestler, an overall favorite, like Daniel Bryan. He's my guy, no matter who he faced. I mean, you saw me at Kofi Mania. I was excited to see Kofi win and complete his story.
Yeah,
don't get
that was
wrong.
cool.
One of the best WrestleMania matches and moments I've ever seen live.
Yeah.
But during Daniel Bryan's entrance, I was yesing my ass off. The only person in the arena yesing my ass off.
Yeah, exactly. And
it's just how it is sometimes.
Yeah, like it would be. I think it would be much different if I was just like, "Oh, Roman's this dominant champion. This is my favorite wrestler." It's like, no. Like, I have been a Roman guy since day.
You were there for the succotash.
I was there for succotash. I was there for succotash. I was there for succotash and the fucked up top row of teeth. I was.
Yeah. All right, that was the WrestleMania 40 from the top rope, presented by My Mom's Basement Recap. Jared, thank you for appearing. And also thank you to everyone who tweeted us and was like, are we going to get a recap? I liked seeing that people were like excited to hear us, come together and give our takes and stuff. It's always cool to hear.
I do appreciate the listeners a lot. And I apologize in advance because I feel like I was super annoying. I don't care. Like I needed to talk about this.
Oh, no.
I needed to vent.
If I wanted, fucking WrestleMania analysis, I could have got Joe Blow off the street, right? But this is from the top rope. We need the guys that are riding and dying for their wrestlers. We need the Rocket. That's how it is.
Still real to me, damn it.
Great note to end on. All right, we'll talk to you whenever the next time something happens that constitutes an emergency pod.
Can't wait.